And you gotta learn that it ain't.
They don't even mean it. Them people just frustrated.
All right, but get back. You're about to say something about Rick the Boss, Rosie Rose, Rick Ross.
Yeah. So, speaking of segueing, I don't think, or I mean of transitioning. Not that Rick Ross was transitioning from being a real criminal, because he wasn't. But when so I did a story about there was a huge GD indictment in the South. So they took down and gave like 40 years to what they referred to as the head of the GDs in Tennessee, Georgia, and I don't know, South Carolina or something. And okay, do you remember when the song "I Feel Like Big Meech, Larry Hoover" came out?
Yeah, of course.
And they were on Rick Ross's head.
Right.
And like World Star Hip Hop played all these GDs from different states. Sent in videos where there would be like 100 of them, and they'd be like, GD folk, and then Rick Ross, you can't come to this state. Remember that?
I remember that drama, yeah.
So the guys that were the ones running those videos, they the ones that got the 40 years. So, listen to this. So this was my premise in my Rick Ross story. I don't know that Rick Ross told, but the incident, this incident was mentioned in all their indictments. Of course, there were other murders and drugs, and but that at the Lowe's Hotel in Miami, that these three guys approached Rick Ross about that song. Well, how would anyone know? Like, there was no shootout. They didn't beat him up. It was some type of conversation. How would anyone know that happened? And it was in the indictment.
Wow.
So that builds a pattern of, you can't just say, oh yeah, I'm a criminal in Tennessee and I sold some drugs. No. You combined with two other leaders of a gang from different states and went to a whole nother state, Miami, to pressure a musical act about what song he said in an attempt to extort him. Well, that's organized crime for sure.
That is a RICO charge.
Yeah, and that was part of, so Rick, and that probably, Rick Ross was in the midst of a big tour when that happened, and he stopped the tour. And he's never done a big tour since then.
He's done well for himself, though.
Well, it may have forced him
to focus on his legitimate...
Right, to do other and say, fuck touring.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he does concerts here and there, but not much. But he stopped, he cut down the tour, but then I thought more about it, and I say this in the story. I say, well, when who are Rick Ross's... At that level, if you're getting Wingstop, you're getting franchises of restaurants. If you're doing big concerts at concert venues, well, what are concert venues? They're the NHL team, the NBA team. Well, these are things, you're in business with rich white men.
He moving in some
you're
real
in
crowds
business
with some real
rich
people.
White men to even be doing
the level of business he doing
those concert tours.
Yeah.
So you think those guys are going to let their business partner
suffer at the hands
of these criminals?
Do you think those guys got what they got because letting some street guys tell them what they can do and what they ain't gonna do? It don't work like that.
They stopped him from having a tour, but I think it
may have ended up
made him choose, like, okay, I'm not. Let me quit playing around.
Yeah, focus on
because these guys will, they the real deal.
Yeah, and he rich.
Yeah, like
I mean, you'd be like, I'd give him this much credit.
And then some people's security can't protect you. Unless you're gonna be with the police.
Not from them kind of.
Unless you with the police.
If they want you.
Yeah, they gonna get at you.
Yeah.
Because jail is law of prison terms is part of what
they already signed up for.
They already signed up for that.
So, crazy.
What about Jay Prince getting Drake?
Let me tell you something. When I was in Chicago,
help me out on that story. What happened?
So Drake and Kanye are beefing. Over Kim Kardashian. Kanye's crazy, but whatever the case may be.
Not black millionaire problems, black billionaire problems.
So they're beefing.
Okay, Kanye.
So when that started a couple months ago, I was in Chicago with some gentlemen of note, I'll just say that.
Okay.
And my man told me, he said, watch. He said, the old man gonna call Jay Prince, and he's gonna call Drake and Kanye, and he's gonna have them do a benefit concert called Free Larry Hoover, and they're gonna donate the proceeds, and that's just what's going on right now.
That's just what's happening right now.
He told me about that months ago.
Because Jay Prince is cool with Hoover, right?
And Drake. And then kind of
Yeezy, Chicago.
The old man Larry Hoover can tell
Kanye play nice with this.
Oh,
yeah. And they got a free Hoover concert.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him.
But he told me that was gonna happen. So those guys in Chicago,
and the beef is now magically.
Oh, it's alleviated.
The beef has been.
Them guys in Chicago are sophisticated, organized, highly.
In Atlanta, my chief of security was a former employee of the old man. Right, and I was, to be honest, I was naive. You know, Shout out to 6ix9ine. Right. You know, big boy out there. Yeah. But like, I was having some security issues. When I brought in 6ix9ine,
more security.
He was like, "Leave the door open at night, nigga." They know.
Yeah.
They know. They know. They know. But so when you were talking about those guys, some of them are sophisticated. So through that connection, he would introduce me to people, and they would be like Kansas City in real estate.
Yeah, but they
Arizona.
Were, but they
Arizona
were that.
doing, but
and they were businessmen,
real businessmen. But he was like he was like, that's us.
Yeah, yep.
And I was like,
oh yeah,
because I'm thinking they all just on the corner.
No.
These
guys,
guys,
older gen, no.
These guys,
they're much more like a mafia
for real.
And they don't even say listen, when you even talking to them and you know them and it's just y'all sitting at the table, they don't even say the name of the organization.
I would have never knew if not from this. But like you said, these guys were deeply involved with the old man, but they were doing real estate projects in Arizona.
Yeah,
big moves in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
But it all
went
back. So that's a fascinating situation there. So all gangs ain't created equal. All gangs.
Them ain't even gangs.
That's organization.
Yep.
That's just.
Now, you know what the kids are doing, but they don't have there's a separate, like what those young guys are doing is not even. I mean, a lot of money's being made off the rap, but I don't think it has much connection to the older people but realistically, if you're 19 growing up in one of them areas, you're going to look at those older guys and be like, well, y'all might be sophisticated in this, that, now, but y'all the ones that are selling my mother drugs, and you the ones that made my neighborhood dangerous. I don't, that old OG thing, young guys don't respect. And
not them days.
Maybe they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, times changed. I mean, I can look back and say, it depends on what you want to respect or what your OG is telling you. If he's trying to breathe on you to tell you, look.
But if your OG got into the position he's in by raping and pillaging, and now is going to tell you, well, you shouldn't do that. It's like United, on a bigger level, it's like United. It's why a lot of countries won't, like the countries that are causing the most pollution, China and India, which are big countries, which are in their growth phase.
Right, you're not going to.
Well, United States, you can afford to put scrubbers on your coal plant, but if we do, it's not suddenly our plant isn't profitable. You got to grow by degrading the environment. Well, we need to get our chance, or you're going to pay for it.
That is the.
It's only fair, but it causes problems.
Right.
World is a complicated place.
World's a complicated place.
I don't know if that's another story.
The block's a complicated place.
The block's complicated enough, much less global geopolitics.
But the block is suffering from in my opinion, the disintegration of the family. More so. That's why the OG message, the OG message is lost because
there is no family.
Really, it ain't no OGs talking.
No,
nobody's.
They're gone.
Yeah,
because you can't. Well, to go back to like the dolphin stuff, like the people that are left in there's less like bad ghetto areas. There's not that many left, but they're worse than ever. There's no one normal in like a bad neighborhood and urban. There's nothing normal going on.
Right.
Like there's not like everyone's hardcore. Everyone's a child mercenary. Like there ain't that many of those areas left, but they're bad. Like it's an eerie feeling. They're not even normal. No one even talks about jobs or school.
Well, you're of that age, Render.
Nobody even. He's 31. I'm even talking about 10 years younger than that.
Yeah.
People talking about futures. the future? What the future plan is?
No.
I always say that's the problem. You gotta have a future. You got to believe you have a future.
Do guys in 24? They don't even talk about jobs
at all. They just want to come up like I'm gonna get.
Like they don't. Nobody even references
right around the corner, and that's all.
And what they gonna do when they get the bag?
Spend it
on bullshit.
And then
they're gonna spend it before they get.
They gonna spend on clothes and drugs.
Then you would need a new bag, though. If your plan is when I get the bag to blow the bag,
ain't that how it works?
That's the cycle.
I get it to spend it.
I'm so
run it up to fuck it up.
I'm so old. I remember when the thought was, we're going to get this big bag so that we don't have to do this no more.
Oh. But they can't. But you had something you thought of that you could do with the bag. We're going to get a gas station. We're going to do... No one wants to work. They don't have the skills. They couldn't run a retail store, much less a website, if they wanted to. And they know that. So they know that not. Why even have the dream?
Yeah.
Them running a regular business is like me and you saying we're going to get some money and become NBA players. Like, it's not happening. They don't have the attention span. They don't have the basic skill. Like, listen, suburban kids can barely read and write and do math in their head, much less the products of these bad schools.
Oh, I and I'm gonna tell you,
listen, these young white people are really what frighten me because they're the backbone of the country, realistically.
With the population.
They 75% of the population. No. So as a bunch of them become not shit and worthless, the country was created especially with black males already on the outside. So this country it's not good for the black males, but the country can function.
It's
set up to function without black males,
being in the mainstream.
Right. It ain't set up to function for, 35 million white males to be milling around on the corner trying to get high. It can't withstand it. It's too many. That's scary. Whoever you care about as a human being, even beyond that, that's just logistically don't work.
It was just time to really tell a great untold Detroit story because it kind of covers Detroit at its zenith.
Very interesting story.
We decided that we were going to make a movie.
All right, Rich Rossi with you with Motown Mafia. I'm with Courtney.
Louis Stevens,
Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown Jr.
And Alan Al Prophet Bradley.
And this is an entrepreneurial, inspirational story too, because again, I'm a real estate retail guy. That's what my skill set is. But I'm a businessman, so I was like, we're gonna do it. Sometimes when you got a dream, you won't have all the answers on how you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
What made this one unique was not so much the crime, but the intertwining with Detroit's history and the Motown era and kind of the economic decline of Detroit. And it's really the story of a family. And from some perspectives, has a happy ending, like you said. For others, it didn't have a happy ending.
Right.